I'm going to be speaking to you today about the mandatory enlistment rules of South Korea and how I think that K-pop idols shouldn't be enlisted because of how much work they put into debuting and training so they can be successful in life. And so my two audiences that I'm going to be speaking to are a group of South Korean K-pop idols. And a K-pop idol is a Korean pop idol or a celebrity, much like the idols and celebrities that we have in the US. And I'm going to be talking to the South Korean government. And so now my first audience is the K-pop idols. In a few years, it may be enlistment time for most of you. And I know that some of you have already been enlisted, and some of you have lost bandmates recently due to enlistment. And some of you may look forward to being enlisted, but some of you, I know most of you don't. None of you deserve to be stripped of all the hard work that you've put into debuting and training. I know most of y'all have trained for at least 3 years before debuting, and some of you have trained for 6. And all the years that you train, you're away from your parents for so long. You're separated from your parents and your family. You can barely see them. And all you wanted in those years was to be successful. And I know some of you wanted to be successful so much that some of you starved yourselves so you can get money to debut and train. And I bet your parents don't even want to see you go through all this training to see it just taken away from you because of the mandatory enlistment. And I know no parents want to see their child in danger um, whenever they're enlisted. They don't want to see their child in danger of war and being hurt. And so I'm pretty sure that all of you dread being enlisted. Most of you dread being enlisted. And mandatory enlistment should not exist at all, especially for all of you K-pop idols who have worked so hard for what you have earned. You have earned so much over the years, and you shouldn't have it taken away from you. Now, my second audience would be the South Korean government. And so, my second audience, South Korean government. Mandatory enlistment should not be a thing at all, especially for K-pop idols. They train for so long, separated from their family and their parents. And I know most of them are separated from their parents at very young ages. I know one member from GOT7, and that's a K-pop group. Bam Bam was separated from his parents at age 13, and he trained for 3.5 months before debuting. He barely got to see his parents during that time. And K-pop idols train so hard for so long with so much time away from their parents. I know S-Coups from 17 trained for 6 years. Imagine 6 years away from your parents, separated from them, not being able to see them at all. How hard would that be? That would be the hardest thing, separated from your friends, your family, everyone that you know for 6 years. And another thing, it's hard for the parents too. They go through so much struggle knowing that they don't get to see their child grow up. They don't get to watch them grow up. That their child's out somewhere growing up without them, training at entertainment agencies such as Pledis, SM Entertainment, or Big Hit. All the parents want their children to be successful, but it's hard for them to be completely disconnected from their children. On top of training, almost all other idols have to juggle school, and some of them are already part of a group that's debuted, and they're still in school. They're still juggling school with that. I know Jungkook from BTS and Dino from 17 were juggling school, performances, filming music videos, TV shows, writing music, and there are a lot more responsibilities that come with being in a idol group. And Jungkook and Dino recently graduated in February of this year. Jungkook at age 19 and Dino at age 17. And all of the members of the boy groups 17 and BTS are amazing examples of how hard idols work. Idols work way too hard to get it all taken away from them due to being enlisted. And the U.S. government is number one in military in the world. And the only reason for that is because we spend so much money on our government and on our military than any other country in the world. And you, South Korea, are ranked 11th in military power in the world. One of those reasons being is you make it mandatory for every Korean man to serve for at least a 21 to 24 month period in their lifetimes. Idols and every other Korean man should not be enlisted unless they choose to enlist. If they don't choose to enlist, they shouldn't be enlisted at all. They should want to be enlisted, and if they don't want to be enlisted, they shouldn't have to. It shouldn't be mandatory for them to enlist. And I think especially for idols, because they train so hard for so long, I think it's hard for them to just separate from their groups and from their friends and family to be enlisted for 2 years. So I don't think mandatory enlistment should be a thing at all. I think you should just enlist people if they want to be enlisted. Thank you.